Hey, with Star Wars Celebration being this coming weekend, who's to say we don't get some kind of announcement there?
All right, what's up, guys? It's Bizmo here. Last week, we made a video on Star Wars Eclipse because I had forgotten about the game, and honestly, I saw like a meme on it, and I just remember being so excited back in 2021 when that teaser trailer came out. So I did a deep dive investigation, and if the game was still being worked on. Long story short, we came to the conclusion that yes, they said they were still working on it, but we really hadn't heard much. Well, then Star Wars Celebration happened this weekend, and just earlier today, an account on Twitter, which appears to be Star Wars Eclipse main account, posted a tweet. A couple tweets by that. First, they say, "Hey there, it's been a while." And there are a ton of impressions with that. Then there's a generic tweet about them saying to sign up for the updates. You won't miss any exciting news about our next adventure, where they link the StarWarsEclipse.com official site where you can get updates and whatnot. And then finally, at Star Wars Celebration Japan, in the closing ceremony, they announced the next Star Wars Celebration would be in Los Angeles 2027, right? And this account, Star Wars Eclipse, or quote tweeted that and said, "See you there." Now, that is just absolutely wild. I knew something like this would happen. Now, no, Star Wars Eclipse, Quantic Dream, the company that makes Star Wars Eclipse, didn't make an announcement at Star Wars Celebration this weekend. I was hoping for maybe something, but I didn't want to get my hopes up too high just because, I mean, if you watched our last video and the analysis we did, I basically had said that this game probably won't come out till 2029 to 2030 if it does come out. But to see that there's a sign of life potentially from their official account on Twitter, basically saying that they'll have something for the next Star Wars Celebration is encouraging. I mean, 2027, that should line up with like an actual like gameplay trailer potentially. We can actually see something beyond that. I mean, if we think into the future for the next Star Wars Celebration in 2027, by that time, we will have had the next Star Wars movie already in theaters. Mandalorian and Grogu will have released. Probably Ahsoka Season 2 will have been out by now. And Star Wars, I mean, could be popping at this time. I mean, this is all speculation, of course, but the brand might be doing better at that time. And if they bring this game back after a couple of wins for the fandom, that's just going to be so huge and something that we can kind of all look forward to. Now, again, I don't want to jump the gun too much, but it just is a crazy coincidence that we're just talking about this last week, and now we get just a little snippet of news. Now, looking at the CGI trailer that they dropped, like obviously super cool, like the music looked insane. They already looked like they had some characters fleshed out and great ideas for it. But as far as like the actual game, I'm curious as to the format of it. Like, will it be an MMO RPG type of game? Like, I would expect for this game to be an RPG, right? But I'm curious to the scope of it, how much freedom will it be in. Like a game like this, like I've always wanted a true open world Star Wars game, and this game would look like a game that could do that. I mean, imagine playing during the height of the Republic and just being able to explore freely across multiple planets in the Star Wars universe and not be limited or whatnot. I mean, obviously the scope is insane, but for how long they've been working on the game, there could be something huge here. Like, this could be the next big thing. I mean, with GTA 6 coming out at some point, I mean, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I hope that if we do eventually get this game, it's not a disappointment and not like a game that you could beat in 20 hours of story gameplay. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like games that are linear single player, platformer slash hack and slash Dark Souls esque. Like, of course, the Jedi series with Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. I just hope that we can have a little bit more than that. I mean, those games are great, but it just doesn't. They don't take that long to beat. There's not a whole lot of meat to them. I mean, a great story, of course, and especially in Jedi Survivor. But to wait for a game for almost a decade, the
wait's got to be worth it, you know? It needs to be the next KOTOR. Oh, did I say that wrong? Sorry, I meant to say KOTOR. Sorry about that, guys. Totally not intentional. Now, as far as Quantic Dream, the developers behind the game, some of the games they've done before, like Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain, those are kind of adventure-based games with gameplay that has branching narrative paths and whatnot. But they're claiming that Star Wars Eclipse is said to have a little bit more of a traditional action experience. But at the same time, they said players will have the power to make choices with consequences thanks to many outcomes in this deeply branching narrative. So it seems like there's going to be a lot of choices to be had. At least that's what they're claiming. I mean, I'm hoping for like a Baldur Gate-esque style, but with from in first person personally, just so I can really get immersed into it. Yeah, apparently the Paris headquarters of the Quantic Dream is doing the writing part of the story, while the North American branch is doing the action and world design. And of course, it is in the High Republic era, so yeah, we've got that to look forward to. I actually do want to see more of the High Republic actually fleshed out. I know some mediums haven't landed as well as others, but I just feel like a good Star Wars game can really be a game changer. I'm curious what you guys think. If they do show up for Star Wars Celebration for 2027, what do you think? Do you think we'll get a gameplay trailer, or do you think they'll just tease it more and just kind of get us excited again and not really give us much to go off of? I mean, again, them tweeting that and saying to check out the website, I'm definitely going to be signing up for updates, because I'm curious now if they're going to get a little bit more active. Like, is this a hint to come that they're going to be spreading more news now, and actually maybe they've made a breakthrough as well, or they've secured some additional funding from Lucasfilm. I mean, I know KK likes to throw money at random projects, so maybe maybe they won her over. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Do you think we're actually going to see Quantic Dream, the developers of Star Wars Eclipse, at Star Wars Celebrations 2027? Like, do you think that's actually going to happen? Do you think we'll get gameplay on it? I mean, I'll say it. The percentage from last week to this week did just go up. Now, the percent increase of how much the likelihood of us getting this game, like, I can't put a number on it. But it's not 0, and it's not 100. But yeah, Star Wars Celebration Japan just wrapped up. I finished getting caught up on all they announced. I'm looking forward to the Darth Maul show they announced, Shadow Lord. I mean, that looks very promising. Takes place between the Clone Wars and Rebels, and we might finally get that plot line that Solo, a Star Wars story with Darth Maul at the end of it. You know, we never got to explore that, and I think that's what's going to be explored in that. So I'm looking forward to that. What was your guys' favorite thing that was announced, though, for Star Wars Celebration? Let me know in the comments, and yeah, I'm going to head out. Have a great day, everyone.